Hello, Steve. I say no. Well, I have a little bit of a. I'm developing a little bit of a love-hate relationship with AirrickDebunks because I'm obviously not a chud. I am left. I am woke. I am a minority, and I am an optimist. And I like films. And I love the media and that. And so I don't make the same content as these guys, which is why I have a tiny channel. Because I don't hate and I don't trash things and I don't tell people what they want to hear and just feed them all their anxieties and agendas so they can get all threatened and then be addicted to me feeding that to them all the time. That's how these people have worked up these channels that are quite big now. A lot of them started, I think, when Roddick started, I had more subscribers than him when he first started. He started off with less than 500 and I started with over 500. That's little things like that are just so funny. It's like, I remember way back when. Like 10 years ago. But yeah, so either way, this guy, he hates those guys and he on one level he does a good job of analysing a lot of their things and sort of focusing on and clarifying a lot of their sort of their messaging and sort of pointing out what their agenda is and exposing them on that level. But he takes it to another level where he sort of goes, like down to their level where he will just hate something because they like it or like something because they hate it. And if they say it's left, it's right. If they say it's black, it's white. He does that. And I'm like, is this just a natural instinct? Just a natural contrarian thing that is in his personality? Or is he sort of trying to, create something and he thinks that's what everyone wants? They just want the opposite of that. So just do the opposite of that and that'll be your video. And he does seem to do a lot of that. And there are little moments I'm just like, you are just full of shit. And it's really undermines the overall argument and issue that you're dealing with or whatever. And like things like Superman, for example, he keeps on insisting that the new Superman film made money because the franchise as a whole is making money through marketing and endorsements and all that. But the film itself, you judge a film's success based on the box office alone. And it failed. It lost money. And because now it's going to make money through streaming, being sold, and on-demand videos and digital downloads and all this stuff, all this other stuff that helps, he's saying, oh, well, now it's a hit. And I'm like, not in the cinema. And just little insincere things like that, like saying, well, it doesn't... just pretending like it didn't lose money in the cinema because now it's sort of going on and making more money through other things. So I was a hit. Now maybe the franchise as a whole is doing well and making the film is part of that whole package where maybe you don't actually make any money off the actual film, but the money you make from the endorsements and the products that the film sort of promotes, it all sort of works together. It's all a little ecosystem now. It's not as simple as just the box office. Some films it is. They don't have a merchandising, a campaign, a franchise. But other films, they do, and that's just part of it. But you still can't separate them and act like that's its own thing. So that's one thing he continually does that drives me nuts. I wrote down a bunch of things and I'm like, yep. Like, for example, in the new Predator film, the judge is saying, oh, they feminized the film, there's a woman in it, and she's sort of the girl boss, and the Predator's just taking orders from her, and none of that's true. But he keeps saying, but she's not a girl because she's a synth. And I'm like, she's a female synth, and the actress is a synth. The actress is a woman, I mean. So obviously there is a woman in the film, there is a female element, and if these guys view this film as a male-only, even though there was a woman in the original Predator, if you recall, then they're kind of right that there is a female in there, and if they are focusing more on, the relationship between the two characters, not just the Predator as on his own sort of male sort of journey, there's an element of that. You can't say, oh, because she's a synthetic and not an actual female, that there's no female in the film, that there's no female element. And I'm like, the actress is a woman, the character is a female, the synth is designed to be a woman, so that's just stupid. And maybe they're all idiots for being threatened by that female presence, but you can't say it's not there because the character technically isn't human. That's just the stupidest thing ever. And he keeps coming up with these really stupid things. I'm like, you must think your audience is as stupid as the chuds do. Just on the other side of the street, working the other side of the street. What were the other things he said? It was like really. Another one. I'm going to keep it. I'm already up to 5 minutes. The last one, because there's a whole bunch of them. I wrote a bunch down. I was just going like, that's just wrong. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Studios. He's saying, studios would never lie about how much money they make. They can't because they'll be sued because they've got investors. I'm like, they can lie as much as they want in the publicity of the media, so long as they are telling the investors the accurate numbers behind closed doors. They can say whatever they want in the media, lie as much as they want. And he's saying, they can't lie. They'd never lie. The studios would never lie. The studios lie all the time. They lie to stop, having to pay out, commissions and shares and all that to actors who, took, a part of the box office and never got paid. They lie all the time. And he's saying, they would never do that. They can't do that. They can, they do. Who are you trying to fool? So there are things like that he does that drives me nuts. Because most of the time he's right, he's on the ball, but then he'll just go to that chud level and just lie just to be contrarian or to, work the other side of that street. And it just undermines everything he does that is right. And I was going to do a video just going down through all the examples for one video of the things he got wrong and lied about. And it's like, I'm already at 6 minutes. I've only gone through 3. I'm going to stop. I think I made my point. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of AirrickDebunks and the small number of like anti-chud sort of channels out there who seem to just exist to trash, the chuds because they think there's an audience for that. Even if some of the times they're right. Sometimes they're right about things, they just misrepresentate them or they'll sort of put their agenda on top of it. But some of the things they say are just factually correct. But he'll even contradict the facts just because they quoted them, they stated them. There's a whole video they were going through. One guy, I forgot his name. He's annoying. I've seen a few of his videos and I don't like him because he is very chatty. But some of the things he said was right, and they were just picking faults. And they even tried to go, because he said, I think Texas was like the 5th biggest city or something in the country, and they're like, I bet he got that wrong too. And like, damn, he was right about that one. And then turn around and say, but it's not the biggest commercially, it's not the biggest state, so that doesn't count. I'm like, oh my God, they're trying just so hard. I mean, just stick to the truth of the argument and the issue, and you won't need to lie and exaggerate and highlight things it just undermines what you're doing. It's just really frustrating because every time I watch a video he'll do something like that, and if he wasn't doing that I could really be behind the fact that he's attacking these people for all their ugly agendas and that. But he just goes too far and undermines himself by contradicting things the few things they say that are actually right. Or factually correct, even if they're twisting all around it. In order to discredit the whole thing, he'll misrepresent or lie or discredit an element, a factual thing. And it's just like, it just shows a lack of integrity and just a lack of sincerity. It just bugs me. I just want one channel that is like anti-chud, but isn't as bad as them and just going down to their level and just doing the opposite of what they're doing because they think that's what we want. I mean, why are there no channels that just enjoy films and TV and just love them and talk about them? There are toy channels like that. There are toy channels you can tune into and they're just going on and on about how much they love this toy or that toy, and they're just fabulous. Just like there are other toy channels that do nothing but trash stuff. Like Retro Blasting. He's just the most whiny, negative thing, and that's his brand. But most of them, a lot of them, they're just there, they just love stuff and they just talk about it, and they're really awesome little groups. I'd love to be a part of them. But then you get the film TV people and they just hate everything. They criticize everything, and there's so many levels to that. It's like, well, clearly you wanted to work in film, you couldn't make it, so now you just tear other people's film apart. Or you think that attacking something and being smart and sarcastic makes you creative, so this is your creative output. trashing other people's work. And it's so much easier to trash people and tear people down than it is to build people up or support people or be an artist and actually go out and create something. So much easier to just destroy and criticize, and you find people do that. And I just would like just one channel that just is like a film and TV channel, genre, like nerd sort of realm, that is just positive but honest. And if something doesn't work or is wrong or woke or whatever, just say it. You know, it doesn't mean you're a chud if you're acknowledging, you know, actual things that actually exist and you're not putting a spin on it or an agenda on it, but then they go in the opposite direction, and it's like, where's reality? Where's the actual real world in between? You either got the chuds or the shills, and they're usually lying about each other, and it's just, it's exhausting. I just want a good geek channel, aside from the toy ones, like, you know, about media and film and TV and stuff, but yeah.